All of humanity, it's really a joy, it's a pleasure, and as usual, to be out in nature and greeting you. Always bringing this message of self-realization to you, this message of emancipation, this message that is pointing you to look inwardly to discover your identity, to be your divinity. Now today I want to speak to you concerning our ancestor, Abdullah, the black mystic from Ethiopia, who was Neville Goddard's mentor. I want to speak to you concerning Abdullah Neville and the single eye, or what many refer to as the mind's eye. Now, the scene was set just like how it is set right now as I speak to you. It was a time where many was very much in fear, because it was a time of drought. It was a time when there was a lot of unemployment. And so today we see that there are many places that have been shut down because of a virus. And we see that there are many who right now, they are out of work, and many are in a place of uncertainty, and many are under fear. And we see also that the religious opportunists are trying to take advantage of certain situation. Like for example, there's some preachers who want to make people believe, well, in spite of all this, that they can still have church, they could still gather, they could still shake hands, and they could do all of these things, fully well knowing that they actually do not have any power. Because if they have any power of healing, that then there wouldn't be no hospital, there wouldn't be no pharmacy. And we see even preachers are trying to say that the Lord tell them this and the Lord tell them that, when they are actually lying. And then the religious people, some are saying last days, and some are saying that this is the end time and this fulfillment of prophecy and all of these stupidness. Okay? Now, what I'm saying to you is that all these things was happening in the time when Abdullah knew the secret of the single eye. When Abdullah knew how to see things through the mind's eye, or through the eye of imagination. When Abdullah knew that it is your own thoughts that is creating your reality, and that you can create your reality consciously. So here was a man teaching a message of self-realization around 1933. And the problem started around since 1929, I believe, to right up to 1939. And 1939, they started a world war just after that. Okay? And here was a man teaching people self-actualization, teaching people about meditation, teaching people how to look inwardly to discover their identity, to be their divinity, teaching people that the power that makes the body can heal the body, and how they can use their mind to heal their body. Here was Abdullah, the healer. Here was Abdullah, the restorer, restoring people back to their rightful place, back to the place of being in their right mind, because they were hiding behind tombs, religious tombs, political tombs, educational tombs. And here was a man putting them back in their right place, in the right standing, having them to align themselves back with nature, having them to think rightly, having them to rightly dividing the word of truth, understanding that it's all their biography, teaching them that the Bible addresses the human mind and must be interpreted psychologically, teaching them that it was not literal, neither was the Bible secular history, because when they believe it from that angle, it's going to keep them in mental slavery. There was a man, as I said before, a black mystic from Ethiopia, Neville Goddard mentor by the name of Abdullah, was teaching people around a time just like this that their real economy is their mentality. Teaching them that money is just energy. Teaching them that true riches have to do with their mentality. Teaching them how to use their creativity. teaching them the power of their mental faculties, teaching them how to use their will, their reasoning, their intuition, their imagination, teaching people how to use their perception. And here was a young man with a passion. Here was a young man who had a desire to learn, having grew up in the Caribbean. One who was told that he can never speak for a living. One who was beaten unmercifully because he said, take up thy bed and walk. And his teacher was so religious and so delusional, he beat him unmercifully because he wanted him to say to take up thy couch and walk. And Abdullah was willing and ready to bring that young man into remembrance, teaching him of his amnesia, where he would have forgotten when they were both philosophers thousands of years ago back in China, teaching him that they would have had many lives, and to send a message to the rest of humanity that this life that we live in here, it is for all of eternity, because we are eternal beings. We are just a spirit having a human experience. And so in a time of crisis, great economic crisis, he taught him self-assurance. He taught him self-consciousness, how to discover self. He said, Neville, start with self. Always begin with self. He taught him that there's no one else to change but self. He taught him also that the Bible was not a book of morality. It was his own biography. He taught him how to play the game of life. I taught him also that the game of life was a game of master and slave. For your body is a slave to your mind. He taught him what it means to understand the inner man and the outer man, and how to rise above all the confusion. So my brothers and my sisters, the reason why I'm bringing this message of self-realization to you is to say to you, just as Abdullah would have said to Neville, see things through your mind's eye. See things through the eye of imagination, because imagination is God in man. Use your imagination. Sleep this day as you are sleeping in your mother's home in Barbados, as Abdullah said to Neville, when Neville had his burning desire to go back to Barbados, to be with his family, without any job, without any money. He was teaching him where it says in the Bible to come and buy milk and honey, come and buy it without money. He was teaching him how to operate his true economy, the right economy, teaching him that everything is energy, vibration, and frequency. He said, see things through your mind's eye. He said, get into the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Let your subconscious mind receive the message that you are sending to the subconscious mind. Let it receive it with feeling. Get into the feeling in these times. When people are wondering what's going to happen, when people are praying deep within for all of this to end, you strategize your next move that will bring you into your place of mastership. Your place whereby you can be the master of your faith, the master of your destiny, knowing that you can definitely create your reality consciously. Use every occasion. Use it wisely. Always see it as an opportunity. And understand the power of urgency. So with that being said, my brother, my sisters, I want to thank you very much for listening to me. And if you're listening to me for the very first time and what I'm saying is resonating with you, then it is for you. For it is said that it's only when the students are ready that the teacher would appear, my brothers and my sisters. And I'm saying to you right now, if you haven't subscribed already, to subscribe, to like, to comment, or to share this video. And to always remember that this message I bring to you, it is the single eye message of self-realization, of which Matthew 6:22 says, if your eye be single, your whole body will be full of light. My brother, my sisters, hadn't it been that I would have had that experience from deep within, where I awake within myself like a fiery being, and that single eye open in me, I come to understand when it says you shall change from mortal to immortality in a twinkling of an eye. That twinkling of an eye is an awakening of an eye. You are asleep in this dream of life, but when you wake from the dream of life, you will have an awakened imagination, and then you will teach each and every one that imagination creates reality, and that consciousness is the only reality. Then you will also teach them that the sun parallels the human imagination, and the human imagination parallels the sun, and that the mind's eye, which is a single eye, is not an evil sign. That is why I always give you the symbol, teaching you that you will rise above your skull, and you will have the experience of the virgin birth, which is a birth from the skull, not a birth from down below. And when you come to the realization, you come to realize that it is the rising of the S-U-N in a S-O-N, and that it is the dawning of a new day in your life. For the sun parallels the human imagination, and the human imagination parallels the sun. For without the sun, there is no life and there is no light. And without the human imagination, there isn't anything made that was made. Therefore, my brother, my sisters, you are told in Psalms 84:11 that the Lord thy God is a sun, as in a S-U-N, and a shield, and no good thing will he withhold from you. That's why the sun will never withhold any good thing from you, because everything comes from the sun. And that is why it is said also in Malachi 4:2 that the sun, as in the S-U-N, of righteousness shall arise in you with healing in his wings. And that's why I'm bringing healing to you in this time where everyone is being fearful, saying to you, this is time for you to use your mind power, which is your solar power, your sun power, your God power, your creative power, to achieve your every desire, just like our ancestor who taught Neville Goddard the power of the single eye. So with that being said, I want to say peace, love you all, I'm out.